In local TV news, how we present ourselves matters. A bright tie, hair, makeup, a crisp blazer, all for a sharp image. But I'm opening up about something you probably don't see. I have Tourettes Syndrome. It's taken a lot for me to say that out loud and publicly. Frankly, I've never really liked talking about my Tourette's. It brings up uncomfortable conversations and questions and unfortunate jokes. But that all changed just a few weeks before Christmas when one of my favorite reporters, David Begnaud at CBS, did a story opening up about his journey with Tourette's. We talked about that in a one-on-one interview.
And all I wanted to do was help other people. I mean, who else wants to talk about why you walk around looking a little silly? Why you know, twitch your head or twitch your tongue? I mean, you know, it's not your most attractive attribute, so to speak, but it's a special attribute. You know why? Because it makes me and whoever's watching this relate.
Brett Tibbetts and Alex Bryant can relate. They have Tourette's. Their journey's been tough at times.
Probably a couple jokes, I want to say junior high time, you know, where people were thinking like, oh, so you're the kid that's going to blurt out cuss words.
So when I was in second grade, there were a lot of kids that prevented me from having a lot of friends because they were really scared.
But they've overcome and are thriving. Tourette's isn't a limitation, it's a launching pad. Both are talented musicians, Alex on drums, Brett on guitar. I see myself in Brett and Alex. My tics started in first grade. By fourth grade, I was worried.
You came to me and said that, you know, Mom, it was starting to bother you. Why is this happening? I need to find out.
My journey with Tourette's syndrome officially started right here at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in Cleveland, where I'm from. We came here for this story to reconnect with the pediatric neurologist who diagnosed me 21 years ago this summer.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Dr. Max Wisnitzer was the first person to tell me my tics were caused by Tourette's syndrome. It's a chronic tic disorder with a genetic component and no known cause.
There's not one specific gene that we can say, this is a Tourette's gene. It's thought to be combinations. But what's thought to be at the bottom line is a control system that is in place in the brain.
Tics are random, uncontrolled movements and vocalizations.
Noises such as throat clearing, sniffing, and snorting, or motor activities such as eye blinking, head shaking or movements, shoulder shrugs.
Tics are not seizures, and we don't all shout obscenities. In fact, less than 10% of people with Tourette's do.
And that's what most people believe, which is really a myth. That's the exception to the rule.
Tics get worse with stress or excitement and less severe with age. Medication can help, but I've never taken any. My eyebrows frown and jump, my eyes close and dart around. I have head nodding and vocal tics too. But focusing on my on-air work is one of the things that stops them. And also in our WHIO News app.
When you're on the air, you're focusing on something else, and the tic basically is not important because you're doing something, your mind is in a different place.
Dr. Wisnitzer told my family years ago, knowledge is power.
If you're an informed consumer and understand what's going on, then basically you're in control.
It was almost like talking to an old friend. This is almost the way he was telling us, see, I told you it was going to be okay. He's going to turn out all right. Sure enough, he was right 21 years later.
Remember how I said I see myself in Brett and Alex? Just listen to what Brett's mom and my mom said.
It's a part of you. It doesn't define you. And I shared with you that time back in fifth grade that when I see you, I just see John. I don't see Tourette's.
But like I've always told Brett, it's a part of you. It doesn't define you. You know, it makes you who you are.
Tourette's isn't a bad thing, just makes us unique.
For an interview like this, if this can serve as any sort of guidance to someone who has Tourette's who's maybe not quite so comfortable with it or is newly diagnosed, like...
Same thing, I can do the same thing as you can do.
You just happen to have Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah.
I sent David Begnaud a thank you on Twitter after his story. I was thinking about sharing my journey, but still hesitant. He wrote back, barrel through those barriers so that you too may inspire someone. That spoke to my heart and got me thinking about a teal bracelet from the Tourette's Association of America that I wear every day that reads, Inspire. It's time to pay forward the inspiration David gave me.
Why not, if it can help someone else? And then I heard from you. And if it can help you, and you doing this story helps someone else, you know what? That's a great thing about being a human being, helping others. I want to do more of it. I find it infectious.
That's a spirit we could all afford to catch more of these days. John Bedell, News Center 7.